Our last section deals with protecting ESD-sensitive devices during handling and when we transport them from one ESD safe area to another. We've already learned how to protect these devices from the static fields and uncontrolled discharges in the work area. Whether you're performing incoming inspection, storing items in the stockroom, kitting, doing assembly operations, or testing and troubleshooting, here are some tips for the safe handling of ESD-sensitive devices. Handle components such as integrated circuits by a non-conductive portion of the body rather than the leads. The leads are the most conductive pathway for an ESD event. The body of the component is less likely to provide a pathway for an ESD zap. Place the device with the leads down on a static dissipative surface. This way the component leads are all at the same electrical potential. Don't slide the device over any surface. Sliding can also generate static charges. And avoid any extra movements when handling the device. Again, this repeated touching and separating can generate charges. When handling electronic assemblies, it's important to hold them only by the edges, minimizing contact with any conductive surface. Because components are connected, an ESD charge to one component can easily spread to others. The key point for handling is to minimize handling of ESD-sensitive items as much as possible. All ESD-sensitive items should be stored and transported in static dissipative or static shielding containers. These special bags or boxes will provide some level of ESD protection around the device. Anti-static or pink poly packaging only serves to reduce charge generation and does not provide static shielding. These materials depend on humidity in the air and are not considered protective unless used along with static shielding packaging. The highest level of protection can be obtained by a combination of the different materials. It's important to use clean containers that are the proper size for the device and is clearly marked for ESD-sensitive items. Use only approved packaging materials. Also, make sure the device is completely inside the container and that the container is closed. Make it a habit to not leave the item on top of or next to the container. When transporting the ESD-sensitive items, use push carts or racks that are designed for ESD-sensitive devices. Again, your company will explain its policy regarding handling, storing, and transporting ESD-sensitive devices. This program has presented the details of controlling ESD during electronics assembly. First, we discussed static electricity and took a look at how poor ESD practices can affect electronic components. Then we examined the ways of controlling ESD in our work area. This included wearing and testing our ESD personal equipment, removing unnecessary materials, using static dissipative materials, and avoiding activities that cause ESD. We know that the best way to control static charges is to prevent their formation whenever possible. We concluded with a discussion on the proper handling, storage, and transport of ESD-sensitive devices. ESD is your responsibility. You need to wear the appropriate equipment and to follow the proper procedures for handling, storing, and transporting ESD-sensitive devices. And you need to report any problems or ESD hazards promptly. In this way, you can make the difference.